3 nights in a row, wide awake at 2 a.m., same ceiling, same quiet, and she'd been dealing with it for months. Then she started drinking a small cup of warm clove water before bed, something she'd read about. Wasn't expecting much. 6 weeks later, she told me it was the first real stretch of sleep she'd had in years. Now, I'm not going to tell you clove water fixed her insomnia. That's not what this video is. But what I will tell you is that there's a very specific, documented reason why drinking it at night, not the morning, does something different to your body. 10 reasons, actually. Let's get into them. Benefit number 1. It supports your ability to fall asleep, and here's the mechanism behind why. Cloves contain a compound called eugenol. What most people haven't heard is what eugenol does to the nervous system at a pharmacological level. It acts as a positive allosteric modulator of the GABA-A receptor. And before your eyes glaze over, let me tell you why that matters in plain language. The GABA-A receptor is the same system that prescription sleep medications target. Benzodiazepines, certain anti-anxiety drugs. They all work, in part, by amplifying GABA signaling in the brain, which is essentially your nervous system's off switch, the signal that tells your body it's safe to stop being alert. Eugenol does something similar, gently, without the dependency risk. Multiple animal studies have confirmed the sedative effect. Eugenol has been shown to extend sleep duration and reduce sleep latency, which is the time it takes to fall asleep. The research here is animal-based, not large human clinical trials, but the mechanism is the same one behind some of the most widely used sleep aids in the world. A warm cup before bed isn't a sleeping pill, but it's giving your nervous system a nudge in exactly the right direction at exactly the right time. Benefit number 2. It may help set up better blood sugar the next morning. This one surprised me when I looked into it. Most people know that what you eat at night affects your morning blood sugar. Fewer people realize that what you drink before bed can too, and specifically that the polyphenols in clove water may influence how well your body manages glucose overnight. In the 2019 BMC study, the one where clove extract dropped post-meal blood sugar by 21 to 27%, something interesting happened in the pre-diabetic group specifically. By days 24 and 30 of the study, their fasting glucose had also dropped. Not just after meal glucose, fasting, before eating anything. That's the number your doctor takes first thing in the morning, the one that reflects what your body did overnight. That's not a coincidence. Overnight is when your liver regulates glucose production. It's when insulin sensitivity resets, or doesn't. If the compounds in clove water are influencing those pathways, the timing of when you take them starts to matter a lot. You wake up with better numbers because of what you did the night before. That's the logic here. Benefit number 3, it gives your body's overnight inflammation reset a fighting chance. Sleep isn't passive. While you're unconscious, your immune system is running cleanup, resolving the day's inflammation, repairing tissue, recalibrating the systems that got pushed around by stress, food, movement, everything you put your body through in the previous 16 hours. The problem is that this process is fragile. Poor sleep itself raises C-reactive protein, one of the key markers of systemic inflammation. So you end up in a loop. Inflammation disrupts sleep, and poor sleep drives more inflammation. Round and round. Eugenol's anti-inflammatory properties are well documented. It suppresses the same inflammatory signaling proteins associated with joint pain, cardiovascular stress, and metabolic dysfunction. Taking it at night means those compounds are circulating in your body during the exact window when your immune system is trying to do its most important work. You're not fighting the inflammation later. You're supporting the process while it's already running. Benefit number 4. It settles your digestive system before you lie down, and that matters more than most people think. When you're upright, gravity is quietly doing about 30% of digestion's job. Food moves downward, gas rises and exits. The whole system has a natural direction. The moment you lie down, that changes. Whatever is still in your GI tract, fermenting, processing, shifting, now has nowhere obvious to go. That's why bloating feels worse at night. That's why heartburn spikes when people go to bed too soon after eating. Gravity was the silent assistant, and now it's off duty. Eugenol has been shown to stimulate digestive enzyme activity and relax the smooth muscle of the GI tract. Drinking clove water before bed means those effects are active during the transition from upright to horizontal, exactly the window when your digestive system needs the most support. Less fermentation, less gas pressure building overnight, and fewer of those 2 a.m. wake-ups that have nothing to do with stress and everything to do with a stomach that hasn't settled properly. Better digestion at night means better sleep. And we already know what better sleep does for everything else. Benefit number 5. It works against the bacteria that are most active while you're unconscious. Most people don't realize this, but your mouth is a very different environment at night than during the day. When you're awake, your saliva is constantly washing your teeth and gums. Saliva is naturally antibacterial. It's one of your mouth's primary defense systems. But when you sleep, saliva production drops significantly, sometimes almost completely, and in that dry, warm, dark environment, the bacteria responsible for plaque, cavities, and gum disease multiply at a rate they simply can't reach during the day. This is why morning breath exists. It's not just stale air. It's the byproduct of hours of unchecked bacterial activity. Eugenol's antibacterial properties are well established enough to be used in clinical dentistry, dental cements, cavity treatments, root canal procedures. Drinking clove water before bed leaves trace antibacterial compounds in your mouth going into the exact period when oral bacteria are most active. It's not a substitute for brushing, but it is an additional line of defense during the hours when your mouth's natural defenses are at their lowest. For someone over 50, when enamel is thinner, gum tissue is more vulnerable, and dental problems become harder and more expensive to reverse, that extra protection at night is genuinely worth having. Benefit number 6. It supports the liver during the hours when it's doing its heaviest work. Your liver doesn't keep office hours, but it does have a rhythm. Overnight is when the liver runs its most intensive processing cycles, clearing metabolic waste, filtering the compounds your body produced during the day, managing blood sugar while you're not eating. It's quiet work. You'll never feel it happening. But when the liver is under strain, from years of medication use, alcohol, inflammatory diet, or just the accumulated wear of age, that overnight processing becomes less efficient over time. The research on cloves and liver health is mostly animal-based, so I'll be honest about that. But what it consistently shows is that clove extract helps reduce oxidative damage in liver tissue and supports the antioxidant enzyme systems that protect liver cells. And the timing argument here is straightforward. If you're going to give your liver antioxidant support, doing it right before its peak processing window makes more sense than doing it at 8 a.m. when it's already moved on to other work. It's not a cleanse. It's not a detox protocol. It's just sensible timing for something that was already worth doing. Benefit number 7. It may reduce the morning joint stiffness that makes getting out of bed feel like a project. You know that first 20 minutes after you wake up? When your knees are tight, your hips don't want to cooperate, and your hands feel like they belong to someone else? That's not just grogginess. That has a specific biological cause. Overnight, inflammatory compounds accumulate in and around your joints. Your body is still producing them while you sleep, and without movement to help flush them out, they pool. So the stiffness isn't happening because you got old. It's happening because your joints spent 8 hours marinating in a concentrated inflammatory environment, and now you're asking them to move. Recall what we covered about overnight inflammation, the way eugenol suppresses those same inflammatory proteins while your body is in its repair cycle. That mechanism connects directly here. Anti-inflammatory compounds circulating in your body overnight means less accumulation in your joints by morning, not zero, but measurably less. The goal isn't to eliminate morning stiffness completely. The goal is to shrink that window. 20 minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 5. That's real. That's quality of life. Benefit number 8. It supports the immune system during its most sophisticated overnight work. Sleep isn't just rest for your muscles and your mind. It's when your immune system runs its most complex operations. During deep sleep, your body consolidates immune memory, essentially filing away information about pathogens it encountered during the day and reinforcing its ability to respond to them faster next time. T-cell activity increases. Certain repair proteins are released. The immune system, in a very real sense, does its training while you're unconscious. So what does poor sleep cost you here? A single bad night has been shown to reduce natural killer cell activity, your immune system's first line of defense against infections and abnormal cells. One night, measurable drop. Clove water supports this process in two ways that work together. The antioxidant load reduces the oxidative stress that would otherwise interfere with immune cell function. And the anti-inflammatory compounds keep the immune signaling environment calibrated so your immune system isn't working against a background of chronic noise. One reinforces the other. You're not boosting immunity in some vague, unquantifiable way. You're removing friction from a process that's already trying to happen. Benefit number 9. It helps bring your nervous system down before bed. And this one is more powerful than it sounds. Getting to sleep isn't just about being tired. It requires your nervous system to actually switch modes, from the alert, reactive state it spends most of the day in, to something calmer and more open to rest. For a lot of people over 50, that transition has gotten harder. The body stays wired. The mind keeps going. Cortisol, which is supposed to be low by evening, lingers. This is where eugenol's effect on the GABA-A receptor becomes specifically relevant at night. We covered that mechanism in Benefit 1, but it's worth coming back to here because this is the other side of the same coin. It's not just that eugenol helps you sleep, it's that it helps you arrive at sleep by nudging the nervous system toward the calm, settled state that sleep actually requires. Research on eugenol has also documented anxiety-reducing effects in animal models, with results comparable in some measures to standard anti-anxiety compounds. The warm liquid itself matters too. There's solid evidence that warm beverages in the evening lower core body temperature slightly as the warmth dissipates, and that gentle temperature drop is one of the physiological cues the brain uses to initiate sleep. It's a small ritual. Warm cup, 10 minutes. But every signal you send your body in that hour before bed either moves you toward sleep or away from it. Clove water moves you toward it. Benefit number 10. The ritual itself is doing something. Your brain is pattern recognition machinery. It watches what you do before sleep every single night, and over time, it starts treating those actions as signals. A consistent pre-sleep routine, the same sequence, at roughly the same time, gradually trains your nervous system to begin winding down the moment the routine starts, before you've even finished the cup, before you've gotten into bed. Sleep researchers call this stimulus control. The behavior conditions the response, and it's one of the most evidence-backed, non-pharmaceutical tools for improving sleep quality that exists. Clove water is warm, it's fragrant, it takes a few minutes to make, a few minutes to drink, and it feels like something you're doing for yourself. Not a chore, not a pill, not another item on the health to-do list. That matters. Habits that feel like punishment don't stick. After 2 weeks of this same quiet ritual every night, same time, same cup, same warmth, your body starts reading it as a cue. Sleep is coming. Stand down. That's your nervous system, working with you instead of against you. How to make clove water. At night. The nighttime version is slightly gentler than what you'd make in the morning. You want warmth and calm, not intensity. Take 2 to 3 whole cloves, drop them into a mug. Pour over 8 ounces of water that's just off the boil, hot, but not aggressively so. Let it steep for 8 to 10 minutes, then let it cool to a comfortable drinking temperature before you start. If you want to add something, a small cinnamon stick works well. It complements both the flavor and the overnight blood sugar benefit we covered earlier. Keep it simple. The goal is a drink you'll actually look forward to making. Drink it 30 to 45 minutes before you intend to sleep. Not right before you lie down. Give it time to work. 1 cup is enough. 2 to 3 cloves is enough. More is not better here. One note worth repeating. If you're on blood-thinning medication of any kind, warfarin, aspirin, anything in that category. Check with your doctor before making this a nightly habit. Eugenol has a mild blood-thinning effect. Same goes if you're on medication your liver processes heavily. It's a conversation worth having, the part that actually matters. Sleep deprivation is one of the most underestimated health risks facing people over 50, not dramatic, sudden sleep deprivation, the slow kind, the kind where you think you're getting enough, but the quality has been quietly declining for years, where you wake up functional, but not fully rested, not fully sharp. And what that costs, long-term, isn't just feeling tired. It's cognitive function, memory, the ability to stay present in the moments that actually matter. Picture this, 5 years from now, sitting at dinner with someone you love, a spouse, an adult child, a grandchild, and they're telling you something they're excited about, and you're there. But not quite there, nodding, smiling, following the shape of the conversation but losing the thread of it. Not because you don't care, because the brain that should be fully engaged has been running on low-quality sleep for so long that full presence has become hard to access. I've watched this happen, slowly, in people who were sharp and engaged and had every intention of staying that way, and almost none of them connected it to sleep. They assumed it was age, they assumed it was just how things go. It doesn't have to go that way. Quality sleep is one of the single most protective things you can do for your brain as you get older. And every habit that moves you toward deeper, more consistent sleep is an investment in being present for your own life. Clove water at night is a small part of that, one piece. But small pieces, chosen deliberately, are how most people who age well actually do it. So, 30 days. Make it part of the wind down. Pay attention to how you sleep, how you wake, how you feel in the mornings. The data will be your own experience. And if this was useful to you, hit subscribe. There's more where this came from. Take care of yourself tonight.